Hello everybody, this is Goobberry and welcome to our Let's Play of Baldur's Gate 3. So Baldur's Gate 3 is an early access title developed by Larian Studios, the same developers who developed Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. So if you haven't played any of these games, these are all highly acclaimed titles. Baldur's Gate 3 is, like I said, in early access, but it's still really an anticipated game. People are waiting for its full release, but more about the game. All the Divinity series as well as Baldur's Gate are all isometric, turn-based role-playing games. So if you haven't played any of these games, I would highly recommend going back and playing the Divinity Original Sin 1 at least, just so you can understand the complexity and how how the different play styles will play out in these sort of games. These are really fun games. I really love playing games like this, and especially Baldur's Gate 3 involves a universe of Dungeons and Dragons, and I believe in this case it is there's concepts of taken from Dungeons and Dragons 5. So there's a dice role play element which makes sure that even if you're really good at a particular skill, it does not mean that there's always favorable outcomes for you, which is really interesting and exciting for me because having played Divinity Original Sin 1, I've not played Divinity Original Sin 2, but yeah, having played 1, I know that over there, if you're really good at a skill, it's always an assured fire in combat, but here it's not the case. So yeah, since it's an early access, do expect bugs and issues, and because of this reason I am going to try to play Baldur's Gate 3 throughout the week from Monday to Friday, uh, every single day for 40 to 45 minutes, so that we can brush through the Act 1 which the developers claim as complete, just so that they don't introduce a patch or something in between our playthrough, sorry, because patch 5 which was introduced when I'm playing this game right now kind of made the save files for patch 4 obsolete, so I don't want our playthrough to be made obsolete. So just for that, we're going to brush through Act 1 and see how things play out. Having said that, the early access, I did do a small test run using the particular class that I wanted to play through, which lets you turn into animals, but it doesn't seem that too polished right now. So for now, we are going to withhold. When it is fully released, we will choose a character and we will play from the start if you would like, or play in the same way. I don't think we're going to be able to continue the save. So yes, it's going to be a full playthrough when the full release comes up. That time, let's try for a class that is really interesting and one which maybe many people would not choose. So yeah, having said that, let's just get directly into the game. There is a lot to explore, a lot of different playstyles to have in this game. So fret not if you made wrong choices. Everybody does. I am going to do the same as well. I'm not good at this game. But having said that, I'm going to keep quiet right now. Let's watch the cinematic. Well, that was creepy, but yeah, here we are. Um, oh, okay. So I'm going to be playing as a female character. That's how I usually play when I'm playing any of these long play games. Let's what shall we name her as? All right, why don't we call her Mayberry? Not too, I mean, not the gooberry, but at least it conforms to a female character to some extent. And what backgrounds do we have? We have acolyte. You have spent your life in service to a temple, learning sacred rites and providing sacrifices to the gods, god or gods you worship. Serving the gods and discovering their sacred works will guide you to greatness. All right. So here, if you see over here, I am choosing a custom origin because we have some of these. Whoa! Oh, we have these custom characters that we can choose, but unfortunately, it's not available in early access. So let's just keep ourselves in custom origin, female character, and let's choose the next background and see what it gives us. So background features here is insight proficiency, religion proficiency. I have no idea what any of this does. I am no expert whatsoever in the Dungeons and Dragons universe, so uh, expect there to be some cringe moments for those experts of you. I mean, those of you who are experts. What the hell did I just say just now? Anyway, let's choose Charlatan. You're an expert in manipulation, prone to exaggeration, and more than happy to profit from it. Bending the truth and turning allies against each other will lead to greater success down the road. Background features deception proficiency, sleight of hand proficiency. So more like a thief. Uh, so what I'm thinking of is the ranger class as both. I'm going to choose the ranger class. I will show you the other classes, but for now, just for you to know, I'm planning on choosing the ranger class, and there are two types of classes in that. One is you go pure ranger, high damages. Second kind of ranger class is there, which involves you having companions or small animal friends that you can summon. So I'm going to go for that so that we can have some variety to our gameplay. Of course, going as the pure ranger is what I do usually when in a single playthrough, so I can get the maximum DPS, damage dealing potential. But in this case, you know what? I'm going to flood the enemy with a lot of creatures and stuff that come running at him. So quantity over quality. But yeah, so I'm not going to go for Charlatan because I'm not going to be thief, etc. And although this is pretty good because in my test run, I did find that the characters are kind of irritating and annoying in this game, at least up to what I've seen. So maybe being able to manipulate their behaviors, etc., would at least make them conform to us. But regardless of that, let's just see the next background. Criminal. Oh, great, awesome. Even worse. Previously, we at least had a thief, but okay. You have a history of breaking the law and survive by leveraging less than legal connections. Profiting from criminal enterprise will lead to greater opportunities in the future. Background features deception and stealth. Sounds like a rogue class to me. So rogues, if you don't know, are classes that use daggers. They're actually backstab sort of people. So they hide in the darkness, wait for an opportunity, and kill. Sort of like assassins. So they don't attack unless they have an opportunity. But when they do, they deal tons of damage. But so I don't think I'm going to choose the criminal background. Let's go to entertainer. Let's see this. You live to sway and subvert your audience, engaging common crowds and high society alike, preserving art and bringing joy to the hapless and the downtrodden, heightens your charismatic aura. Background features acrobatics proficiency, performance proficiency. Doesn't sound too bad because regardless of what it's saying above, my background features might make me a little bit more of an athletic build. I might need that to run away from my enemies. So because as a ranger, if the enemy closes down to you, you don't have wear much armor. heavy, you're not the heavy armor sort of guy, so that could be our advantage here. We could have a lot more proficiency in running away and shooting from a distance again. But let's see the next one. Folk hero. You're a champion of the common people, challenging tyrants and monsters to protect the helpless. Saving innocents in imminent danger will make your legend grow. Background features: animal handling proficiency, survival proficiency. So, although the folk hero, the depiction, the description over here makes it sound like it would be more suitable for a sword class, a melee class character. I am going to take this because the background features, animal handling, and survival proficiency. I mean, especially since it's coming up to animal handling, ST to pin tutor. Ooh, what did it do? Oh, it just stopped everything else and just showed the tooltip alone. But you know what? Since I'm going to summon animal companions, I think I might go for the folk hero. But let's just see if there's any other background. Guild Artisan. Your skill in a particular craft has earned you membership in a mercantile guild, offering privileges and protection while engaging in your art. Repairing and discovering rare crafts will bring new inspiration. Insight proficiency, persuasion proficiency. So persuasion proficiency again might help you to talk to have a better both the insight and persuasion together might make conversations a lot easier versus the idiots that you get as companions, at least until what I've seen. But what about noble? You were raised in a family among the social elite, accustomed to power and privilege, accumulating renown, power, and loyalty. Did I say renown? Renown, power, and loyalty will raise your status. Background features: history proficiency, persuasion proficiency. Outlander. You grew up in the wilds, learning to survive far from the comforts of civilization. Surviving unusual hazards of the wild will enhance your prowess and understanding. Athletics proficiency, survival proficiency. Sounds like a really good deal for pure rangers. So if you're a pro ranger, I think this will be really good. I think, because I say I think because I don't know. I'm no expert at this, like I said before. Sage, you are curious and well read, with an unending thirst for knowledge. Learning about rare lore of the world will inspire you to put this knowledge to greater purpose. Background features Arcana and history proficiency. Arcana is more, magic potential. So that is good if I'm a magician, sorcerer, wizard, what so warlock, I guess, in Dungeons and Dragons universe. Soldier, you are trained in battlefield tactics and combat, having served in a militia, mercenary company, or officer corps. Show smart tactics and bravery on the battlefield to enhance your prowess. Ah, how I would love to play a clerk, but you know what? Let's just go for ranger companion. Urchin. Oh. After surviving a poor and bleak childhood, you know how to make the most out of very little. Using your street smarts bolsters your spirit for the journey ahead. Sleight of hand and stealth. Sleight of hand might help you to rob people. Not sure how much robbing can be done. I used to love robbing people in Divinity Original Sin 1. But yeah, oh god, that's the end of all the background choices, huh? Well, let's go for folk hero, like I said. And this is my origin story. So here we have strength. I'm going to, I think I'll just read it. So this episode is purely going to be character creation. So we'll explain everything about this and why we chose this. And I mean, why, let me be very clear. Why is based on my assumption of what it means and not what the game truly does, because like I said, I don't know how these games actually calculate damage or other stuff, so I may not choose the min max means of building up my character. But so uh, take it with a grain of salt and hopefully have the patience to see me play through this game with all the fumbling that I'm going to do with my character building. But yeah, I'm just trying to make it as fun as possible to watch. rather than make it a a strong playthrough where you can just demolish people. But yes, let's go back to this abilities. Strength, muscles, and physical power affects your athletic skill and makes you better at melee combat. Also determines how far you can jump and how much you can carry. Uh-oh, carrying mechanic. Definitely want to carry a lot. Hmm. Dexterity, agility, reflexes, and balance. Affects your dexterity skill and makes you better at range combat. Also affects your initiative and armor class. Ooh, that's sweet. Because, dexterity is the main ability for a ranger. And since it increases my initiative and armor class, maybe I can get higher, heavier armor on. Have my animal companions hurt the enemies while I can just stand and do maybe medium average damage, I guess. Constitution, this is health essentially. So stamina and physical endurance affects your maximum hit points. Rangers don't have the max of hit points, but yes. Intelligence 9, memory and mental power affects your intelligence skill and improves spellcasting for wizards. I'm not Usually, intelligence also helps with dialogues, but I'm not sure how much we're going to focus on intelligence. Like if we are at all going to do so. Wisdom, senses, and intuition affects your wisdom skills and improves spell casting for clerics, druids, and rangers. Oh boy! So I apparently dexterity and wisdom are going to be the two things I'm going to use. Charisma, force of personality affects your charisma skills and improves spellcasting for warlocks. So even if I'm not a warlock, I might need some charisma just so I can handle my companions, I'm guessing. And because if I remember right, even in Divinity Original Sin, without giving away too many spoilers, you can have bad consequences if you don't have a good rapport with your team. Not a dream. A dream is a tree and an ent. My own discussion, but okay. So we have some. So we got these following proficiencies. Where did I get the proficiency of history? Ooh, it's because of these other choices. So we are going to have to look at that. Yeah, let's first look at that before we come back to this origin. And, so one thing is, unlike a lot of people who play, these Dungeons and Dragons games with, as an dwarf, etc. I'm a bit of a purist. I usually like to play as a human being, but as a ranger, the best choice would be to be an elf. So the thing is, I'm just thinking, what? Let's see what all is available and see if we can, maybe have a combo of perhaps. I don't want to go for the elf just because they are really good. Like look at the race features for elf. Keen senses, so perception is good, which is really good for ranger. Fey ancestry, Fey casts a veil over your mind. You have advantage on saving throws. Oh god. So the concept of saving throws is the dice roll mechanic that is there in this game, unlike Divinity series. So here, like I said earlier in the introduction, you may not survive all dice rolls even if you are an ex-master at a particular skill. So saving throws, having more better defense, saving throw, whatever abilities would help you, defend yourself, protect yourself against, like in this case, from being charmed and sleep magic. So Fey ancestry is a pretty good thing. I think it is unique to elves. Dexterity plus 2. Now this is awesome. They get a default dexterity, long sword, short sword, long bow, short bow, and dark version. They can see in the dark. Ooh, within 12 meters. Sub race trace base racial speed. Okay, it's 9. And intelligence. Oops. Oh, sub race, high elf. Oh god, there are more elf varieties. Oh yeah. High elf, high S of the mystical Feywild. Feywild. High elves value magic in all its forms, and even those who do not study spellcraft can manipulate the weave. Cantrip creates an illusionary image. Ah, okay. Okay. So the cantrip is really good for distracting people. Maybe I think it can even be used to bring people into an ambush. We can set up an ambush and bring them into that spot, I think. But let's look at the other elf, Wood Elf. Wood Elf spend their reclusive lives in the Faerun's forest. Decades of training in archery and camouflage are enhanced by an otherworld swiftness. Oh, so this must might be the best for longbows, huh? I for using as a ranger class. Fleet of foot, mask of the wild. Ooh, proficiency in stealth, nice, and wisdom. Who's the other person? Intelligence. Oh, so the high elf is more like a magic ranger, which I think would be better if you're a pure ranger. I mean, you take the pure ranger class rather than the what we are choosing, the animal companion thingy. And wood elf would be good. Next, let's look at tiefling. I'm not going to spend too much time looking at this. Oh, tieflings are devil-like beings, huh? Hellish resistance, huh? I'll just pause the video here. I'm not going to read out too much. Asmodeus, Mephistopheles, tiefling. So these guys are not. They don't seem too good against. I mean, for a ranger class because it feels like the tieflings are like demonic. They're demonic creatures that have some level of uh, physical enhanced physical ability or magic arcana abilities, not the run away, shoot from a distance sort of people. So let's go to the next. The drow. The drow elves are the dark elves, I believe. So Lolthorn Grove, raised by the Lolth cult in the city of Menzoberranzan. What? Menzoberranzan. These drow extol the virtues of their corrupt and merciless goddess. Lolth marks her followers with, I don't know if it's Lolth or Loth, marks her followers with bright red eyes so the Underdark will learn to fear the drow on sight. Underdark. But yeah, they also have Fey ancestry, keen senses, dexterity. They have charisma. Not the biggest thing that I am going to try to be good at. Ooh, hand crossbows. These guys draw dark elves because they are more accustomed to the dark. They have superior vision of 24 meters. That's awesome. Hand crossbow. This sounds cool. Can I see the crossbow? Not just her ass and a mace. Seldarin. So, what's the difference between Seldarin and same thing. Same thing. Okay. Gaga, gaga, gaga. Too much reading. Read it yourself. I'm just passing it here, huh? Okay. Human. Let's see the humans. The most common face to see in Faerun, humans are known for their tenacity, creativity, and endless capacity for growth. The base racial speed is their strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. All plus one. So, a jack of all trades but a master of none. God damn it. Yeah. The difference in abilities between the human and elf is so harsh. Githyanki. Githyanki are essentially warrior class race. So I'm not going to go for this. You can just read what is written there. Dwarfs also something like that. Warrior, maybe even mage, and half elves. So this is what I want to look. Half elves, I think, are both human as well as elves. A touch of the Feywild remains in half elves with this bloodline, and even those untrained in magic possess a hint of wild power. I are half elf. Two charisma. Ugh. Oh no. So we need dexterity and wisdom. Unfortunately, the idiots gave 2 charisma to this person since it's high elf. Let's look at this. Wood elf. Wood elf should be more of what we want. Mask of the wild. Fleet of foot, yes. Dark vision. 2 charisma. Damn you. How dare you take away. Oh. Ah! Doesn't let me add more than 1 plus 1 to a particular ability. So if I take a half elf, I'm going to suck at. I'm going to suck at pretty much everything, I guess. Feels like this is better than the human. Makes me think what exactly. And we have draw half elf as well. Why would I want to go for a human being like at all? And it feels like a normal, an elf gives me so much more. Like look at this, the bow proficiency, etc. It is necessary because if you don't have proficiency, then how are you going to do saving throws? Oh god. Anyway, before we go into everything else, let me look at the classes as well. Show you guys the classes. After that, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to show you what choices I made. So before that, these are the classes available: Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Ranger, Rogue, Warlock and Wizard. There are a few more classes to come up once the full release is available to us. I believe some of them is the Berserker as well. Includes the Berserker class, the Sorcerer class. Sorcerer class I think will be pure damage dealers. Wizard classes will be environment based damage dealers, or you can make them spellcasters as well. Warlocks are damage dealers as well, but they use the mysterious forces, I believe, and they have a pact signed with a demon or something of that particular variety, I believe. I don't know. We're going to read more of that. Druids are more nature people. That like I said, they use nature class spells, or they can transform themselves into animals. Fighters, just basic fighters. But clerics are representatives of the gods. They worship wielding potent divine magic for good or ill. I don't know why I kind of fumbled that up, but potent, yes. So they can heal and fight. Oh god, I'm not gonna. There's so much to read. God damn. This is the class that I wanted to take, the Druid class. Unfortunately, Druids. I tried a small playthrough, but it didn't feel like it was going to be smooth because I felt like I need to take. So essentially, there are prepared spells. So prepared spells are spells that have a particular number of times that you can use these spells, and once that is over, you should restore it. And the only way to restore it is by going to sleep, camping, you and your team. So if I'm able to use an animal transformation only twice, then every time, I think every 1 or 2 battles, I'll have to go to sleep, which sounds a bit of it is a bit of a pain in the ass. In contrast, the ranger with animal companion, you can keep summoning the companion infinite times outside of combat. So for now, we're gonna go for that. So let's look at. So this is the rogue class, warlock class, fighter class, the ranger class, and the wizard class. So hopefully you pause the video where you want to read. But yeah, I could go for also I could go for the cleric, the fighter as well. So I'm not going for that because it's straightforward melee combat. Many people would like it. If you're a beginner, I would suggest going for the fighter class, because you can don heavy armor on yourself, and therefore make yourself either a real big tank or a high damage dealing, maybe a long sword person. So I'm going to go for ranger class. I am going to choose my favored enemy. Features you restrain have a harder time escaping. Favored enemy, Keeper of the Veil. You specialize in hunting creatures from other planes of existence. You gain proficiency in Arcana, which grants protection against aberrations, celestials, fae, fiends, and undead. Sounds like a good deal to have. Mage Breaker. You have a history of battling spellcasters, gain proficiency with Arcana, and the True Strike cantrip, which gives you an advantage on attack rolls against a creature. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for this spell. Okay. So the more wisdom I have, the more chances of succeeding a dice roll in spellcast when I'm spellcasting this true cantrip. Ranger Knight. You are sworn to serve a crown or nation and seek to bring its force to rule. Gain proficiency with history and armor proficiency with heavy armor. Ooh, sounds nice. Sanctified Stalker. You swore to hunt enemies of a holy or druidic order. Gain proficiency in religion and sacred flame cantrip, which deals 1d8, 1 dice, 8 dice, radiant damage. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for the cantrip. So 1d8 is rolling an 8 dice with a total of 8 in its sides. So there are, unlike the common dice we have in just for people who don't know this, unlike the common types of dice that you have where the maximum is the number 6, these dices have more number of sides to them. So this is an 8-sided dice. So an octa dice, so to speak. So 1d8 is one roll of that dice or one die. So wisdom is your cantrip. I think I'm gonna go for either ranger knight or bounty hunter. Investigation sounds like a good deal. With history and armor proficiency with heavy armor. Do I want heavy armor? I don't know. Heavy armor with being a single ranger, but it would be good. Maybe I just go for bounty hunter. Okay, natural explorer, beast tamer. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to go. You have cultivated a strong bond with animals. You can find familiar as a ritual. Was urban tracker. An expert at navigating the wild within the city. You gain proficiency with the disguise kit and thieves tool used to disguise yourselves or pick locks. Nice. Wasteland wanderer, cold. Gain cold resistance or take half damage from it. You can gain fire resistance or half damage, poison resistance and half damage. Spells, maximum hit points per level. Ooh. Okay, so we get the following hit points and 11 hit points for now, right now, and class features, proficiencies on some stuff. But okay, I'm going to remain a beast tamer and bounty hunter. Proficiency in investigation. Yeah, okay, I'll stay this. I don't think too many people are going to go. I mean, a lot of people might go for ranger knight, but I don't think I want to be a ranger knight. Let's be a bounty hunter. It might be a bad choice for me because I get the feeling if you have animals helping you, then either you could stay as a tank and have your allies deal the damage, or you could be a bounty hunter or something like that and deal high amounts of damage yourself. But I don't want to go for Keeper of the Veil or Mage Breaker because they seem to be more magic related. So bounty hunter, beast tamer it is. Proficiency bonus. What is this? Inherited skills. Oh. Granted by 4. Okay, so this is like a summary. So skills proficiency. Let's choose this. Read people and situations, detect lies. Nature. Recognize plants and animals, hug trees. Stealth. Stay out of sight, melt into the shadows. Granted from race. Perception. Yeah, a lot of these things will come with your race, class, and your race and your class. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pause it here and I'm going to choose the particular race that we want and we'll get back. So, alright, here we are. This is the elf class. I succumbed. I had to go for the wood elf because it had everything that I wanted for a ranger class. Everything else was subpar. So, I didn't want to even go for any of the others. They didn't seem to suit. But yeah, we are the race of wood elf, and our class is ranger. Our skills, these are the skills that we have inherited. So you can just glance by this by pausing the video. But let's move on to the abilities. So I came here and I found that everything was already assigned. While it does look pretty good actually if you look at this. Like constitution, yes, I do want some amount of constitution, but this much? We need so much constitution. Muscles and physical power, even though it's not the muscles and physical power that we need. It also determines how much I can carry. So maybe, you know what, minus that a little bit. I think at this level, yeah, we need plus 3 points ability points to increase dexterity by even 1 point. So looks like I might let's stick with strength. Let's have some more carry capacity, because one thing that ends up happening in these sort of games is that the character you're most confident in using will eventually become the leader of the group, the one person that you move around, because since you're leading a party of four or more, your leader, you will only be moving them around the map, and only when combat initiates does it become a turn-based style. So until then, every time I'm going to move around the world map, I'm going to be using Mayberry. So I'd like, if I'm going to pick up something, etc., Mayberry is going to be the one doing that. And since you don't want to make her too weak in terms of strength, because then she'll not be able to carry that much, which usually becomes annoying. So let's just stick with what they gave us. Let's
Tell me, who do you dream of at night?
what the hell is this? Who do you dream of? Who attracts you? Are you serious? Great. Now look at this guy. It looks like a total piece of shit. You know what? Let's dream of a human. Look at this little piece of shit. Is he who you're going to dream of? God damn.
Where to next?
Well, voice at least looks okay. Let's change the head. This guy looks like good. Duh. No. He seems a bit better. You're kidding me, right? So his style, his look style will always be the same, and you're gonna dream of this person like, great. Thank you. Please change his hairstyle so yeah, he looks at least somewhat decent. Yes. Great. You know what? Let's keep this hairstyle. Facial hair. Let's see. Oh, real Picasso. Oh, let's keep the chops style. At least, even though his dress style looks like garbage, at least his facial wise, he looks good. He looks decent. Oh yeah, what about his eyes color? You know what? Blue eyes. Let's see those nice blue eyes. Okay, blue eyes. Hair color, you know what? Let's make him. Oh, what? Doesn't look so bad. Don't want to look at anything else. You know what? Let's just scurry on through. I don't want to make too much of a fuss on things like this, especially since we're already done with our main character. I think the skin color, etc., is perfectly alright. Okay, so human. This is what we. This is the idiot that she's looking at. I mean, she dreams of. Who attracts you? What sort of connection she? the hell is happening? Okay, so what sort of connection she has with him, I don't know. We'll find out soon enough, I guess. But there you go. Let's just venture forth. But before that, that is going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you guys like this episode. This is the character creation episode for this game, and I know it took up an entire episode because that's how I wanted it to happen, so people are actually aware of what I'm chosen and the consequences of that in the storyline. This is going to be a role playing game, so we're going to role play as a particular type of character. And usually, rangers are not really the brave hearts who come forward and try to get into every fight in the name of justice, etc. They're usually stealthy characters, a little bit like the rogue. They may have, some of them might have some sort of criminal elements to them as well, being sneaky, being a witty kind of person, etc., rather than the brave, calm disposition person. So I'll be explaining what type of character role I'm going to take, and whether I'm going to piss off people a lot, be the benevolent sort of person, or just be a cunning, witty sort of person. All of that will be there in the next episode. So if you like this video, press the like button, push that button. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. It would help me a lot. And I will catch you guys next time, where we will begin our story, and therein our start to Act 1 of Baldur's Gate 3. Thank you. This is Gooberry, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.